James Aquila is from Dallas, Texas. He is an enrolled agent, tax planning advisor, CEO of Aquila Financial and Tax Services. He was born in Yambio, South Sudan, Africa. He loves to inspire people of all cultures to believe in themselves through the demonstration of the power of belief. Please welcome to the stage our next inspirer, James Aquila!
It is July 14th, 1998, and I'm sitting in my living room with my mom, and all I hear is, Jerry, 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 Jerry. You see, July 14th was the first time I landed in the United States. I spoke 5 different languages. English was not one of them. And so every time I would try to go outside and play with the kids, I would be like, bonjour. They're like, no, they won't understand. San Efronio. They're like, what the heck is he saying? Como ça va? They're like, no. So then I would go inside and then I would watch television with my mom. Between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that was the show that was on TV. Jerry, and Jerry will come on and says, welcome to the Jerry Springer Show. We have a great show for us tonight. And so he would be like, well, the special today is going to be, I slept with my mother's sister's cousin. We'd be like, what? And my mom would be like, Kuya, wa mena ngo ginipa kuna pete, ginipa kuna pehe. I'd be like, Mom, I think what he said was, he slept with his mother's sister's cousin. She'd be like, ooh. And so that was the evening. That's how we spend the time. And we'd be learning words from Jerry Springer that may not be the best way to start to learn your English, right? Not the best way to do it. And then a commercial came on that reminded me for a second, for 50 cents a day, you can feed a child in Africa. And then it took me back. On any given day, my best friend and I, we run out. We were hungry. And so he was a little smaller than I was, and then I climbed the tree, right? And I'm sitting in the mango tree, and I got one of the juiciest mango I could find. And so I bite it, and all the juices just flows on my chin. And he's like, hey, throw me one. Mufunga manga farek, huh? Miara kali manga. I was like, no, so you can't climb. I'm up here. And so he's like, I hope you fall, because I was sitting on a branch while I was eating this. And a few seconds later, and here I was like, ah! So I'm falling down, right? And I hit the ground, and poof! Here I am, out of breath. And so for that second, I was like, you punk, you wish this on me, right? And of course, a truck passes by, and then the truck they had rice and beans. Every Friday, the government will come, and they will be bringing us rice and beans. So my best friend and I, we run there, and then we help our parents get the rice and beans, and then so we go home. But what we did not know was that there was rebels surrounding our camp. There was rebels, and that following evening, my mother and I are sleeping. It was our neighbor. He risked his own life. He crawls to what was our house, and he's like, hey, are you guys still here? Because if you are, you need to hurry up and get out of here. And as we get up, literally within 50 feet, the rebel comes in, walk into the room that we were in. They didn't see us. My best friend's door was right next door. And all I hear was I lay down trying to survive is a gunshot that's going off. my best friend, his parents. And that was the last day, and all I could think about was if I'd have just give him one last mango, maybe he would still be here today. And for a whole week, I'm asking, why, God? Why am I the one here and he's not here? Why am I still alive? And I go by the same tree where we always play, and I'm sitting there. And as I'm sitting there, a man comes by. He's like, hey, I just want to let you know that your father got a visa to the United States. And you guys are get to go to visit him. He's not in this, he's not here, but you have to travel to another state, to another country. And so, as I'm sitting there and I'm crying, I don't know what's happening, I realized that a lot of time, we don't know why things happen the way they do. We can't connect our dot looking forward, but we can connect the dot looking backward. And that day, it was that man who risked his life to save our life. And if it wasn't for him, chances are I wouldn't be here today. And so I just want to share that with you, that as you're sitting here, your story means so much more to everybody around you. They need to know what you have done. They need to know who you are. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully I inspired y'all.
James Aquila! And welcome back to the stage, our next semifinalist, Mr. James Aquila! Woo.
This chapter is called Coming to America. Not the movie, the real life version. The real life version. And I want to take you guys on a journey with me today. So as I'm sharing the story, I want you to think about your going to America, your land of opportunity, what your vision, what your goals are, what are the things that makes you passionate. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. The man comes, he said, hey, gimme. Your father is here. He has passport. He has the passport for you. But you have to go to a different country in able for the embassy to be able to process it. And so therefore, the journey started. I meet with the man. He's like, okay, so we're going to take a bike all the way to a whole nother country. It's going to take us 5 days to get there. I'm like, we're going to go on a bike? But that was the means of transportation. We didn't have cars. We didn't have, planes. We got to go to another country with a bike. And so we started on the journey, and one day, this is day 4, we get to this hill, right? Because what happens is when you have a vision, when you have a goal, it's not going to happen. It's not going to just be like that. You're going to go through trials. And so we hit this mountain, and he looks at me. He said, hey, the tires are flat. The weight, the luggages that is on the car or on the bike, you're going to have to push it up the hill. Now, here's a 6-year-old kid. You have a bike. It's flat. And he wants me to push it up the hill. I was like, first of all, you get paid to take me to my father, so how am I working to get there myself? So I dropped the bike, and then I started walking. Now, he didn't like that, so he got upset. And he came, he pushed the bike past me up this hill, up this mountain, and then he kept on moving. He kept on going. And so I'm walking in the jungle. There's nothing around. It's bushes, and all of a sudden, I hear noises, which I happen to hear to know what the sound is very well. It was 2 lions laying as where the sound system is. They're laying there. And I'm standing here, and I'm looking, and one of them just woke up. It's looking at me. I'm looking at it. I know in my mind say, I know you see me see you. If I run, I'm dead. If I stay, I'm dead. So I didn't realize what had happened at the time, that my ghost has left my body. It took off. And it said, body, you better catch up. And so I started running for my life. I didn't understand what was going on. My whole legs are gone. I'm just running. And on the trees are monkeys. So I remember when I was younger, I fought a monkey before for a plate of food. So we went hand in hand. I said, look, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to catch these hands. And so these monkeys, they're making all these noises. As I'm running, they're screaming at me. And all of a sudden, they stopped. And what I realized was, at that moment, I thought that it was over. The lions are closing in, and therefore, it's my time. This is where it ends. And I just kept running because at this point, there's nothing else I can do. So I run, and I run, until I realized that I was safe. I get to the place where my father was. I tell him the story about what the man did. He's like, look, he left me to die, okay? That's what happened. Don't give him any money, okay? Don't pay him. He left me to die. And a few days after staying, the problem is where we were, they could not process the paperwork. So we had to cross the Congo River. They said the only way to go to America is you're going to have to cross the Congo River and go there to the embassy, and that's the only place they can be able to process it. And so now here's the thing about the Congo River. It's infested with crocodiles and alligators. Now, we don't have any money, so the simplest way for us to go is we're going to have to take a canoe through this water. So I said, well, and I'm holding on to Mom's hand. So we get in the canoe, and we're going in the water, they're rolling it. And all of a sudden, one rises up, and we can see his eyes, and he's looking at us. And all I say was, if this is where it ends, then this is where it ends. But to make sure we were able to make it across, a week later, we were able to process the paperwork. And as I'm standing before the Delta airline, KLM, I kneeled. I said, thank you, God, because this is you. You made this happen.